Yee, welcome to Barstool Bench Mob, presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer. Rico has made me wake up early in the morning on a Sunday. We have an interview with this episode with Jack Nunge from Xavier, who's dropping 20 a game as of late. Big 7-foot bastard. What else I got to say?
We've got, unfortunately, COVID cancellations, rescheduling, some good games, some blowouts. It's kind of crazy that we're talking about this again, but there's a lot going on.
It literally feels like we're back in like the beginning when like we didn't know what's going on that March. It fucking feels it's terrible.
Our friends had some bad losses.
Yes, we'll dive into that.
To some scumbags.
Let's just say the mobster guests have had better weeks.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get into all that. The COVID shit's actually wild. It's interesting to talk about too with some other things. I'll lead off the show with that. But like
Frank Martin was very hot last night on the SEC network.
Yeah.
Talking about it. Yeah, like he just was like, we got to change this policy. Like, so yeah, it's not. We got a lot going on. I don't like the forfeits. I really don't.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about right away. Let's just get into the episode.
Let's roll right in.
And here we go.
All right, before we get into today's episode, I want to talk to you about High Noon Hard Seltzer. I got a bunch of tweets yesterday. People just walking down the street, showing me then going home, showing me their setup with the High Noons. It's one of the best drinks of all time. It's real vodka, it's real juice, gluten-free. Everyone needs gluten-free these days, even if you're not allergic to gluten. People love just saying gluten-free. Am I wrong?
No, it's hot in the streets.
It feels healthier.
Yeah, it feels healthier. It feels like you're drinking something clean, and it feels clean. The can, the box, everything it comes with. Make sure you go get it. Gotta go to a liquor store because it's real vodka. It's none of that malt nonsense. I don't have to sell it to you anymore. You heard it. You listen to this podcast. You know how good it is. It's the easiest thing to talk about. Rico's got a setup behind him. I think you need a High Noon sign.
Yeah, I could get that.
Yeah, I think that like one of the sun sips sign would be good down there.
All right. Yeah, I got plenty of room.
Brighten up the room, you know.
I still got to put I'm trying to make a plaque of when I won 50K up there.
Or you should do like a starting lineup, like the PA announcer, like measure how tall the can is, standing at 8 inches high, 100 calories strong. Line.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, go get your High Noon Hard Seltzer. It's the best presenting sponsor of all time. All right, I wanted to start with the COVID shit because that's what it sucks what's happening right now. But what I saw, which is absolutely fucking insane, is that so we know Seton Hall has COVID. They have to forfeit on Monday against who?
St. John's?
Yeah, St. John's.
So they have to forfeit on Monday against St. John's. That's a conference loss, which is like fucked up. And then listen to this. DePaul has COVID, and so does Seton Hall. So they both still have like the protocols on Thursday. They both forfeit.
It's so ridiculous.
They both lose.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I understand what you're saying is correct. I'm choosing not to accept that. Does that make sense?
Fine.
Like, I can't live in a world where that exists.
Bro, how do you both lose? That just doesn't make sense.
Listen, people are going to say, like, we're crazy. Tell me, in place of that game, I get it. Safety, right? No COVID. Marty, tell me if you turned on that game and they had 2 fans or 2 student managers playing, like, horse, knockout, or like fucking a 3-point contest, and that determines who wins that conference game, that you wouldn't tune into that.
Bro, you have to at least, like, I don't even care. Like,
flip a coin.
Free throw shooting contest. Pick one fan from each one.
Do a game of Monopoly. I don't care what it is. You have to do something, at least give someone a chance to win. But like, even like, bro, then like a lot of people are tweeting and complaining that if players are asymptomatic, with testing positive, they should be allowed to play. I am not getting into that. I don't fucking know. I don't understand if that. I don't want to, like, I understand safety, putting people at risk, whatever. They don't want to do it because this new shit is like people don't feel sick and like they're completely fine. But like, look at the Nets yesterday. I didn't even know half the starting lineup. Like, they should be able to still play with like, again, like a manager or something. Like, you have to play these games or just delay it a little bit. Like, getting both forfeit is crazy. And like, okay, forfeiting a game to Iona, whatever, fine. But like in conference play, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's big time. I don't get how the double forfeit is now. We're entering a world of like, what are we doing?
That's
what are we
outrageous.
talking about?
So to backtrack a little bit, I believe Jeff Goodman said the conference could consider they can go back and retroactively take away the forfeits, which would be good because if every team has to forfeit 2 or 3 games, like that's not right. You go back, okay, they might not reschedule the game, but don't give a loss to them in the standings. That's absurd. Now, another thing to consider, the opposing team, they get the win, but it's not for their resume. It literally just shows up an extra win in the win column, but it doesn't count as a quality win for St.
That's
John's.
just dumb then.
Then it's even dumb. So like, what is the committee supposed to say? Oh, they beat St. John's like on the I don't. It the whole.
And that's not. And it's like why? Like that's fucking both teams. One getting a loss, and the other one just getting a win, but not getting on your resume. Where it's like not my fault that we don't have COVID. Like what the fuck?
It's absurd. I mean, a lot of it's changing. We'll see if the rules change. I saw the NFL's not going to test unless you're feeling sick, I believe. So we'll see if college sports go the same way.
What the fuck's going on? That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah. So the main games postponed this weekend was obviously you mentioned Iona Seton Hall at the Garden. Tennessee Memphis was canceled. An hour before tip off.
Yeah, the fucking. Did you see that tweet? Like that rat fucking. Someone was like, "Oh, I overheard on the bench." Like went to that party last night. Like who tweets that?
Oh, I didn't see that,
Bro. I quote tweeted with rat. It's like what? I want to read the tweet because it was so upsetting. Like it was listening to the bench or something.
That's a shame because that's a completely different style of play.
Tennessee. Of course, he's a Tennessee guy. Grant Ramey overheard from Memphis side of press row at Bridges Arena. All those players were at the party last night. Get the fuck out of here. Why you tweet that?
Do you think that's true though?
Why would you tweet that though? I mean, like you don't know. It's like overheard. It's like, yeah, maybe they were at a party. They're fucking college kids.
Also, there was no other reports, right? I feel like someone else would have come up and confirmed that. I haven't seen it anywhere else. I could be wrong.
But because you can't really confirm that they were at a fucking frat party or something.
Listen,
also, they weren't on either of their campuses, so I don't know.
The difficulty is that you got a lot of people living in glass houses who are throwing stones. Like they're judging, like, how could these college kids do this? Why do we have full stadiums for football? And like, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But then don't ever let me catch you at the mall. Don't ever let me catch you at a restaurant you know what I mean? Like, no, and that's where we're at right now. Everyone's saying like me, not we. Like what, like they're it's a difficult thing and it's been going on for 2 years, which is what is very, very difficult to navigate. And that's not picking a side. That's just literally saying like, it's the truth. People who are shaming others are doing their own thing. And it's conflicting report. It's very.
So what did Frank Martin say?
He said we live. I caught the end of it because I was scrolling, so I put him up to the sound. So he basically said like we're living in a.
I knew you were gonna have to mention that you have more than one.
Always,
TV there.
Always. We're living in a or we have pre-vaccine rules, but we're living in a post-vaccine world. He basically said and he said you can look it up. Yeah, we'll splice it in maybe, but yeah, he was a little hot, and then they had Oates on the camera after and kind of set him up. They were basically like, what's your thoughts? And he kind of was like, listen, I also don't think these guys should have to answer for protocols and shit like that either.
So I have the full quote. I can read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said, if I'm going to do my job with the same policies that were in place pre-vaccination, that doesn't make sense to me. How are we going to do our jobs when we know that it's infection season, that we're traveling, we're staying in hotels? We stay in hotels every day, that every John Doe stays in, and then we're going to go to arenas that are sold out. And the one thing that's proven is that vaccines don't prevent this from spreading. Vaccines prevent us from dying, not from spreading. So, yeah, I mean,
Good points.
it's just the way that a few or even one positive seems like it could be canceling a game.
Marty, you agree though that these guys shouldn't have to have or be put on the spot for opinions on this?
No, because it's no matter what they're
They're
gonna
gonna
get.
lose. Yeah,
Like
somebody's gonna
left,
spend it.
like someone's gonna have a problem with what they say,
Right.
and it's like they don't know. They're just trying to follow the rules too. So it's just kind of annoying. But these reporters know it's gonna make the headlines. Bro, did you see? It's totally off topic, but not really. Like, did you see the post? Tweet a blog about Taylor Swift 100,
Yes.
100, but it wasn't Taylor Swift. It was a Taylor Swift themed party.
It's absurd.
They're like Taylor Swift has party.
Taylor Swift party is super spreader or something.
Yeah,
Bro.
Taylor Swift party is super spreader, and it wasn't her.
And what outlet was that?
New York Post.
Okay. The same outlet that works with Zach Brazil, you fucking scumbag. You fucking scumbag. You happy you work for a fucking company that changes headlines left and right? You fucking never took a jump shot, scumbag, fat fuck.
And while we're on the topic,
the New York Post. Fuck the New York Post.
While we're on the topic,
fuck the New York Post.
Of Rico cursing out.
Keep banging that typewriter, Zachy. Maybe you'll get backstage passes or fucking courtside seats. You fucking scumbag.
Rico was on one, as they say, this weekend with some random rivalries he created in the group chat.
It's Christmas. We can't get into that's gonna out me of like my shit, but whatever. Let's just be happy.
No, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna name what you were talking about, but it was outrageous. Like I'll be like, hey, let's get Cooley on the pod. Yeah. But so and so is a fuck face. I'm like, what the fuck? I'll be like, let's get Cooley on the pod. It'll be 9 text messages about him calling someone a fuck face, and then the next one's like, all right, let's get Cooley on. No one answers his things.
Jake said if X plays Y, it's gonna be the battle of the fuck face comeback. Which was a good line. Which was a good line. We taught him about that. That's a good line.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into the games. And this first game kind of has to do with COVID because Kentucky played North Carolina last minute because UCLA and Ohio State didn't end up playing. So they kind of did musical chairs in Las Vegas. It was supposed to be the CBS Sports Classic doubleheader. Ended up being one game. So Kentucky 98, number 21 Kentucky 98, North Carolina 69. A rout. Again, both teams didn't have much time to prepare for each other, but a blowout.
So I don't think that it was like, again, it was late notice, but again, it doesn't really matter because they were both playing good teams. Like I know it's a different scouting report and different game plan, but Kentucky is a weird team to me because they're very up and down again. I thought Ty was going to be fucking unbelievable. He's been okay, but that game was a statement where it's like, we're still like a top 10 team, you know.
I'm gonna give a little spin on the game plan thing, and I don't think Calipari's a great coach, especially in game. I think he's a great recruiter. He's a great politician. Like I will give him credit with that of how he keeps everybody happy. But Hubert Davis on short notice, that definitely is an advantage to Calipari. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
sure.
and you could say, well, Calipari had the same type of thing, but he's kind of been through that. He's been through a bunch of tournaments where on short notice, you don't find out who you play until that, you know what I mean? A day before.
Let me tell you, Hubert Davis on the hot seat, that guy stinks. That guy fucking stinks. What I tell you, you can't be a good coach named Hubert.
It's a transition year. I'll be honest.
You don't have transition years at North Carolina.
I thought Carolina could stay in this. I took Carolina. Once it kind of got out of hand, it was like up in the corner, and I really didn't.
There's a joke. They're putting out, what do you think about these jerseys? They're black. Do you ever see Duke wear those? You scumbags. They're just losers. They're not going to love what Caleb Love. Get out of here with that. Baycott's 40 years old. They're whatever. Fuck UNC.
Listen, the ACC is a one-bid league.
It might be. So,
Bro, it's bad.
Bro, it's
Yeah.
Duke, UNC, and then and UNC, obviously UNC's not terrible, but
What's Duke at, Marty? Are they minus 300?
I mean, I'll look right now, but seriously, who's the third team?
Maybe
Louisville
Virginia
lost.
Tech. Louisville
Maybe
just
Virginia
lost.
Tech.
Virginia stinks, but they're built to get pesky, but they
Like
stink.
Virginia's gonna probably beat
but they
Duke
stink.
once or
Wake Forest is 11-1.
yeah, they're like the third best team, which is a problem.
FSU is down.
ACC is bad.
Yeah, it's bad
Dude,
right now.
I think anything under it sounds crazy. Anything under 400 is a gift for Duke.
Yeah, probably. So while Marty's looking this up,
it's not. I think because the games are playing
in between, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think we agree Kentucky needed this game more, right? Because there are 2 games against power conference teams. They lost to Duke. They lost to Notre Dame. If they lost this game to Kentucky, they would have had no wins on their resume besides by-game wins at home at Rupp Arena. That wouldn't have done anything for their resume. So they were desperate. They needed to have it, and they smoked UNC from the beginning. So they were 8-0 at home, 0-2 away from Rupp. They needed this one. They were desperate. They showed it. I was just surprised it was never a competitive game. 23-8 in the first 10 minutes. And Xavier Wheeler really stepped up. 26
he
points,
killed it.
12 of 15. So the efficiency, smart shots. Just Kentucky needed this because if they lost this game, you'd have been like, all right, they might miss the tournament because they have no wins on their resume before the Louisville rivalry game.
Yeah, but they do really well in the SEC, and there's enough opportunity to pick up wins there. I just don't. The SEC is, I still think, just so head and shoulders above a ton of conferences. I'm giving you credit, Marty. The Big 12 is up there. The Big 10, you can make a case they'll turn things around, but I really do think it's the SEC is. When you talk about though, horses, Auburn, Bama, Kentucky, LSU's playing defense. Tennessee plays defense. They're horses. They have the best horses.
Has the best I think them and Big 12 are 1 and 2. I think it's not even a question in my mind right now. And then it's
no Big East.
Yeah, no, I don't think the Big East compares to SEC at all.
Big East is good though, man. Big East is
very good.
It is very good.
Big East is good, but I don't think Villanova is.
No.
I'd rather take 4 teams in the SEC than Villanova.
So Jake, that's the thing is who is the top of the Big East? Who's the best team in the Big East right now?
Right now,
there's no wrong answer.
Xavier or Providence.
All right, fine, and we like.
I don't even know if we can say it. Seton Hall is still how can you not say Seton Hall?
Yeah,
right. But gun to head, if I tell you national championship contenders, you have Xavier, Seton Hall, and who's the third? You said Providence. Or I give you any of Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, LSU, Florida. What are you doing? You know what I mean? That's you. No, they're good, right. But their 3 is better than the other 3.
Yeah.
So.
And UConn's been struggling.
Yeah. Let's get into that one. You have that one up next?
Well, yeah. So one more thing on North Carolina. So that's 2 blowout losses to the SEC. They lost to Kentucky. They got smoked by Tennessee earlier on. And they lost to Purdue by 9. They lost by those 3 games combined 18 points per game. So, yeah, no one's really helping out Armando Bacot. He had 22. RJ Davis was next in line with 10. But, yeah, let's get into the Big East. So it was a really big weekend for the Big East. Let's start with Providence. Providence 57, number 20 UConn 53 on the road. A message sent by the big dog. Ed Cooley bouncing back big time so far this season.
Bro, they have great wins. They lost their 1 losses to Virginia, which I don't no matter what, Virginia is Virginia. They can get it together. They haven't been very good, but they lost to Virginia, whatever. They beat Texas Tech. They beat UConn.
Wisconsin.
And Wisconsin, those are 3 really good wins for a team that was off just bad.
The 2 things that stood out to me was late defensively, they really, really stepped it up. They got the stops they needed. They didn't lunge. They didn't get stupid fouls. They boxed out when they needed to, late in the game. It seems like Cooley's really – it almost seems like he's enjoying the fact that nobody had them on the radar this year. Because No, I know, but they're like a gritty team. Like, hey, like keep under appreciating us. We'll just keep showing up. They did really well. And the other thing is they shot 33% from three, which isn't great. 43% from the free throw line and got out rebounded on the offensive glass and still won the game.
But that's Sonogo being out, which is fine. They have to, you got to do what you got to do. But Sonogo does seem like he is like, that's the piece UConn needs right now. Like without him, they're not very good on the offensive glass. And also they scored 4 points off the bench. You just can't have that.
Right.
Yeah. And then for UConn, you mentioned how they're struggling as of late. So that's losing 2 out of 3, right? They lost to West Virginia last week. Those 2 losses, they've scored 53 points in each. So the offense, does that worry you? I feel like it has to a little bit. Again, they're both tough games, but one of them is at home. I don't know. I'm
telling you, Sonogo is the problem. They need Sonogo back.
No, Marty, Providence got out rebounded without Sonogo.
They did?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Providence got out rebounded.
Still, yeah. Still. I mean, Jackson had 14 rebounds fucking from UConn. But I don't know. UConn, I think they'll be fine. Their guard play is really good, but once they get full strength, I think we'll be fine.
For Providence, I know we've talked a lot about AJ Reeves and Nate Watson, who has a chance to be the conference player of the year. Jared Bynum, last 4 games, he didn't play. In this one, off the bench, 9 points, 6 rebounds. It's always going to be those glue guys who can help you pull off these road wins, carry you in the tournament. The guys that aren't being zoned in on during the scout. And
who, the other glue guy I like, the blonde kid, Horschler, yeah, Noah Horschler. Yeah, he just does what he needs to do.
He sucked this game too.
For you're talking about building a team though, like the role players, he's solid. He's never gonna, and that's why I think Cooley's enjoying these guys because like he had David Duke, and it was like, all right, well he's got to get us 30, he's got to get us 35, and
David
now
Duke's a basketball player.
Yes, yeah, I like Providence. It's better when Cooley's good. It's better 100%. When the Big East is good. I can't wait for more.
This is when Providence is good, like 57, 53 wins. Like when it's like low score and it's kind of disgusting. They're beating the other team up. Like that's a Providence win. They don't win 70 to 68.
Right. The plans are Providence, their last 4 wins, they have not scored 70 points.
I'm telling you right now, they're going to be ranked on Monday. Book it. Georgetown beats them at Providence Wednesday night. I don't care how bad Georgetown is. That is just Providence. Like, I saw people tweeting, they're like, don't rank us. Don't rank us. Don't rank us. We don't want to be ranked. Like,
better. They're better, like, forgotten about.
Yes, without a doubt. And
for some reason, every year they just get matched up with North Carolina in the tournament, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I feel like those two are always going against each other. It's a good color game. The gray and the black versus the Carolina blue. But keeping it in the Big East, let's backtrack to Friday. A blowout. Creighton 79, Villanova 59. This game proved that the Big East is not just Villanova. There's a lot of teams coming for them.
That mostly, to me, just proved that Villanova is not elite. Like, that wasn't a loss. They weren't in that game at all.
We got caught, looking at Nova, like, all right, you know what? We'll take Nova. No, this Creighton's bad. Nova will figure it out. And we were just right. They're just, listen, we like Gillespie. Jay Wright's elite, but they're just not that good. Let's face it. And all the, like, Philly Mays and fucking all the Nova people, when I said they were a 6, it's not out of the question right now that they can go be a fucking 6. They're 7-4 before Christmas.
That's what's crazy. They're 7-4, and their 4 losses are 3 of them Baylor.
3
UCLA,
of them are a team that can win it all. Yeah.
Like, obviously, yeah, whatever. But again, what have I been saying? They have no more than 5 players.
Their conference is back. Their schedule is backloaded. So they go Xavier, obviously, Tuesday. We talked to about Nunge. Temple, Seton Hall, Creighton, Xavier, Butler. And so they're not really they don't get UConn and Providence till February. So I feel like they're gonna rattle off a couple of wins against like the trash, and people will be like Nova's back, and then fade him again in February.
Yeah, they will. But let me tell you, this is exactly why they aren't set to win. Gillespie, right? 1 of 8 from 3, 6 of 17, 16 points. Still their leading scorer at 16 points. He's 1 of 8. And then you have Dixon who has 15. But the rest, like you have one guy off the bench that scored 6 points.
And Justin Moore, he's known as one of their best players probably. Season low 6 points.
Yeah, like if it doesn't work a little bit, they're fucked. When you have teams like Baylor, who if their best player, if like Meyer sucks, someone else is going to step up. If Paolo sucks, you have Trevor Keels that can step up. Like they don't have anyone on that bench or another person that's going to step up. If it's a bad game, it's done. It's over. They lose by 20.
The thing that's surprising to me, it's not okay they have 4 losses. These last 2 losses specifically, they were never in this game. Last Sunday, they scored 36 points against Baylor. Again, it's at Baylor, but you score 36 points. You can't score 36 points, plain and simple. And then this game, too, you're losing by 20 points. I get playing on the road is really tough, but losing by 21, losing by 20, that just shows that those signs of not being competitive. That's what worries me if you're a Villanova fan.
Xavier twice, Seton Hall twice, Creighton again, Butler twice, St. John's twice, Connecticut twice. Like where this team's in trouble.
Yeah, I know they're not the number 9 team in the country. I can tell you that.
No, we sniffed that out when they were 6 or 4.
They'll drop to like 18, probably would be my guess.
I still don't.
They got 4 losses and they got 10 to 12 more games that are difficult minimum, and that's not even doing the on the road versus Georgetown, like on the road versus Marquette against Crazy Shaka.
That's why I like the Big East this year. It's like it's not just Villanova. There's a lot of teams that can take that from them.
Meanwhile, for Creighton, important bounce back win. They had an ugly home loss to Arizona State earlier this week.
Now
they have wins against
10-3.
Yeah, BYU and Villanova wins on their resume. Like we haven't talked about them. Like they lost their best player last season. Okay, they have DePaul and Georgetown next. They're probably looking at 3-0 potentially. I mean, at DePaul, they only have 1 loss. I just am so trained to see DePaul on your schedule and chuck up the W.
No,
but
it's when do they play DePaul?
Oh yeah, it's today. So I guess that game's canceled.
Yeah.
So they won, right?
They won.
It's so ridiculous. They won. Congratulations. Yeah. So DePaul forfeits that game, but no, Creighton's one of those teams. When Providence goes to Omaha, when UConn goes to Omaha, they could lose those games easily.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't. I don't. There are teams that there are going to be teams that could. Creighton's a team that's going to steal some from like they just did from Villanova. Maybe one from like UConn. They're not like impressive to me, but like you got to give them some credit.
Marty, your guy AOC, 12 points.
I love him. I've always have. He's such a scumbag.
Why?
He just is. Like he was perfect for Duke because he's like good, but he's not that good. Like he could do some crazy shit, and people will hate him. And he's got like a leg tat. No one likes a guy with a leg tat.
Yeah, that's a lot. I can't say I'd ever do that myself. But no, look, Villanova, that's a very tough schedule. UCLA, Purdue, Baylor, those are all teams that can win it all. I don't know. They should have won that UCLA game. Purdue.
You know what? I'm done talking about them. We have told obviously we're going to talk about Villanova. Like right now, they are not good. I don't know what else to say. They are. When I say not good, you guys need to listen to me. Like
they're not elite. They're not elite.
They're not elite. I know Villanova's good. I'm not a fucking moron,
right.
But they're
although
not.
I just think they're okay good.
Yeah, they're all right.
I don't think they're very good. That's the thing too. Like I'll even double down, and we sniffed that out right away.
Like I said, they can't have an off night. They have a little bit of an off night. It's completely over. There's no one saving it.
Yeah.
Isn't now the time to buy the stock though? Because you know they have a championship coach. They have guys who won it all. Like if you still think they have a chance, now's the time. No, you just haven't seen anything to do that.
Not really. Nope. And a difficult schedule coming up.
Is the national championship odds still up?
No chance. Don't even, please.
No, I'm just saying because at the beginning of the season they could have been in that conversation.
I'd take Colorado State twice before I took Villanova.
Villanova's still the 8th most favorite team. The 8th favorite, plus 1,500 to win it all.
That's
Oh, wait, it's out still?
That's
Yeah,
criminal.
championship's out.
That's criminal.
That's actually fucking insane.
So they're expecting
criminal.
Our friends at the Barstool Sportsbook are expecting them to contend.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Really?
Like Alabama's plus 2,000, Villanova's plus 1,500.
And everybody's gonna make fun like we're friends at Alabama, but like Marty, honest to God, who has a more capable national championship team?
Swear to God, I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna name 5 more teams below Villanova that I would take over them. Ready? Alabama.
Yes.
Texas.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Auburn.
Yes.
One more that's went away. Honestly, like Ohio State or Illinois,
Yes.
like
not Illinois. Not Illinois.
Illinois is turning around, and I'm the biggest hater, but they're turning around. But
Yeah.
like all those teams, I'd rather than Villanova.
It's just interesting because you look at the Big East teams. Villanova's plus 1,500. They're the overwhelming favorite still. And then UConn, who you could argue like they're in the same category, they're plus 6,000. Like, if those two played today, it would probably be like a coin flip, right?
Yeah.
And look at the difference in the odds. It just shows that.
I know. Well, that's the thing is they're never going to give you Jay Wright at 100 to 1. You know what I mean? Because the guy is a mastermind. So, yeah.
No, it's something to monitor, and we'll see. I think obviously the Big East is tougher, but the opportunities to go on a roll are there for Villanova, and they've historically, at least recently, proven that they can just win. I don't remember they lost to Georgetown in the Big East Conference tournament. Still don't know how that happened last year, but yeah, something to monitor. Villanova not acting like Villanova so far this season. Moving on. Number 5, Gonzaga, 69. Number 25, Texas Tech, 55. There's so much talk last few years, deservedly so, about the Gonzaga offense, right? They put up 100, but they'll also allow 90. This one was all about the defense. And this was an important win for me because it proved they can win a different way, which I feel like we haven't seen from Gonzaga the last couple of years.
But it's also no Shannon.
No Shannon. It's an ass.
I understand that.
That's why
that's
yesterday
like,
was a letdown day in the sense that like you're looking forward to Texas Tech. They're without their best guy.
I'm gonna
Carolina's
be completely honest.
Yeah.
I like Texas Tech way more now with how they played against Gonzaga without their best player. Like they were in it. They're a little bit like, let me tell you something about Gonzaga. Like that's why Gonzaga is an elite team because like Timmy and Holmgren had 12 points. And that's if they have your best, like pretty much 2 players only have 12 points, you have those other guys that step up. That's the difference between them and Villanova. First of all,
even Strother had 9.
Yeah, I mean Nembhard played every minute of the game and scored 16 points. But like, bro, I don't know Gonzaga. Like, I know
you guys aren't giving any credit to them for allowing 55 points.
Well, I give credit, but it's like you can't. Like again, that's literally their best player and who changes everything about Texas Tech. I give more credit to Texas Tech almost.
No, listen, there's a very real possibility that we're going to run it back with Gonzaga Baylor, the way these two teams are playing.
No.
I'm not okay.
No.
Marty, you know what? I'm not even gonna. We're gonna put that to the
I'd
side. We're not gonna
revisit. I'd love to hear this.
I'm saying they're 2 elite teams. Like I'm not discrediting Gonzaga. They're great. They're elite. But the issue is you don't really get the best test when Texas Tech doesn't have their best player. So it's like it's just a letdown. Like I would have liked to see them play with their best players.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Texas Tech is a little bit slept on by people. And I do think that they're a good team. Their new coach, they're O'Banner's, like they're still, again, the funniest thing about college basketball, none of this matters. Like it does matter. Like you start to see where these teams are at, but like teams really get clicking in February. Like that's like who your team is in February, in my opinion.
The thing with Gonzaga is, okay, you allow 55. I know their last 2 games were against Tarleton State and Merrimack, but they've allowed 55, 55, 55.
Jake, you always do that. You said it was Tarleton and Merrimack. You can't. Obviously, if they let up any more than 55 points at Tarleton and Merrimack, I don't want to. Fuck that.
Okay, but allowing 55 points against the D1
No,
team three
no,
times in a
no.
row
Take the
means the
stats
defense
out.
is clicking.
It doesn't matter. It's Tarleton Merrimack. You can't tell me.
So why am I giving them credit off of the top for Texas Tech? You're like, but no Shannon. So none of these
Because there's
55
no
points
Shannon.
defense? Okay, so none of these matter?
No, not really.
See?
No, it don't. I mean,
Let's
yeah,
go.
they played. It's not their fault that Shannon didn't play, but it's fucking. It's like taking out. Like you're literally like when Rico says Johnny Davis isn't fucking good. They're not. Wisconsin's not that good without him. Texas Tech is a very mediocre team without Shannon.
Let's go to crisis management for our friends in Fayetteville. Can we go there? Can we transfer to that?
I got a few more. notes
What
on
could
this.
you possibly have more from this game? They missed their best player.
You tell me
Facts.
Drew
Getting
Timmy
mad.
and Chet Holmgren combine for 12 points.
We said that.
And you win by 14?
I literally did. You not listen to what I said?
You win by 14.
Yes, I said this is why Gonzaga is elite because their two best players played like shit. They have other players that came up, but their defense, yeah, they don't have the best play. I don't know how else to say it.
I just don't know why you aren't giving credit to Gonzaga for winning like this when we haven't seen them win like this in 2 years.
I'm giving them credit because they played who they had to play, but they didn't have to play a full-strength team. And you're telling me that they're playing good defense against Tarleton Merrimack.
And Texas Tech.
Without their best player.
It still counts in my book. I give them credit.
Yeah, your book is stupid.
Okay. The Andrew Nemhard in this game, 16 points. Last 3 games combined, 15 points. That's my last nugget.
Jake, you're saying Gonzaga has the 13th best defense this year. Last year, they were 11th. 20, they were 43rd. 19, they were 12th. 18, they were 18th. 17, they were the best defense in the country. 16, they were 27. 15, they were 16th. What do you mean they haven't won like this? They're fucking – they play defense. Or at least
scoring 69.
At least efficiency-wise.
Scoring 69.
2014, they were 18th. 2013, they were 30th. 2012, they were 33rd.
All right, I don't need any more.
2011, they were 44th.
I don't need any more.
2010, 63rd.
Shut
2009, 24th. They're fucking a
up.
defensive juggernaut.
You know how many games they won last year scoring sub 70 points? 0. That's my point.
That's my
Well,
point.
they did have – all right.
69 points. We're going to do this.
What do you mean?
Jake, you are on one today.
That's more of a credit to their offense. They had a better offense last year.
Yeah.
Jalen Suggs. And
Okay, I'm saying we haven't seen Gonzaga score so few points and win.
They scored 69 points.
It's
not a lot for Gonzaga.
He's in a well right now, Marty. We can't win. Can we please talk about our friends in Fayetteville?
I don't understand where the disconnect is.
We know you don't understand because we've been telling you that 70 points is a lot of points.
Okay, but it's not a lot of points for Gonzaga standards.
Yeah, because Texas Tech is pretty good still defensively.
Okay, they are very good defensively, but I'm just saying we have not seen Gonzaga win with this formula. That's all.
They didn't have their best player.
Okay,
their best player.
Okay,
they don't have the guy who scores the basket.
I'm done.
Do you remember the Texas Tech? Like, this is how Texas Tech plays, though. You understand that. Like, the Tennessee game was a war.
I understand that. I am just pointing out that we did not see Gonzaga.
Don't say it again.
It's style of play. It's not necessarily like they were held. It's because they were held to 69 because of the style of play.
I need to move on.
Fayetteville.
Gonzaga played last year against Virginia and still scored 98 points.
They fucking have. What are we talking about? They played Tarleton and fucking Merrimack. Merrimack was my elementary fucking school.
I'm talking about the offense right now.
And the offense,
Rico, take it away. You take over.
70 points is a lot of points.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Long Island zone.
We need to have Coach Muss on again so they get a win. We're undefeated in the bounce backs. I don't know what the fuck. They lost to Hofstra without their best player. Hofstra had to take a team nap before the game.
Yeah, that was fucking
like
nuts.
fucking Big Lou, who I played with in high school, who was a fucking waste of space. I mean,
Who's Big Lou?
Oh, he's like 6'7". He might have been the laziest human being on the face of the earth. He got thrown out of school for drinking in summer school.
What does he have to do with anything?
He's lazy. He used to take naps before the game. That's what I'm saying. Like Hofstra's taking naps in the locker room.
That is wild, though. But, dude, Arkansas, I mean, hey, they have a problem. Their one problem is their defense. 89 points to Hofstra, bad. That's a simple sentence, bad.
It should be illegal to have two D1 teams playing and not have a televised basketball game. How? I know there's some TV contracts. Why is that a thing? Not only two D1 teams, one of them is an SEC team, and you can't watch the basketball game.
No, it's bad.
No, it makes no sense. It's only on the radio. It's stupid.
I love radio. Don't get me wrong. It's how I got my career started in this business. But to not have it game on television, insane.
It almost seems like Arkansas needs to. I know JD Note is like, oh, great off the bench, blah, blah, blah. Still plays 32 minutes. Start the fucking guy.
Yeah.
And second of all, I think you start 5 guys and none of them scored 10 points, you got problems.
Right. Who was the kid who was out for Hofstra? Like, I don't know Hofstra in and out. I don't pride myself.
Zach Cooks, the NJIT transfer. He was one of the good players in the America East last year.
Yeah, I mean, this just can't happen. You can't fucking lose to Arkansas. I mean, I'm sorry, you can't lose to Hofstra.
And again, it wasn't a true home game, but it was still in the state of Arkansas. It was in Little Rock, but
Marty, you know what tells me the difference? I mean, I'll be honest. It wasn't on TV. We didn't watch a fucking second of it, but you look into it. You know what tells me was a problem? Take a guess how many free throws Arkansas shot. 13. How many did Hofstra shoot?
30.
23. That means you're reaching, guys are going past you, you're getting beat. Like that's a major problem. I will spin zone it for Arkansas. All right. A bad loss and the loss to Oklahoma. They go Elon on Tuesday, should be a win. Then the way they open up SEC play is Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, A&M, Missouri, LSU, South Carolina, A&M, and Mississippi to end January. I count that as, now I know it's very difficult the way they're playing now, but there's a very good shot. You could be 7-1, 6-2 in there and turn things around. That's the bottom of the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes these losses like this, because they played Oklahoma, they lost it, they lost bad, they lost a Hofstra, really bad loss. It maybe wakes them up a little bit. It shows a team that they're not going to be ranked anymore. They were 12th, now 24. They're not going to be ranked anymore. Like maybe it'll kind of puts them where they're at, and they could figure it out. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to look too much into it yet. They haven't been impressive, and they're our friends. But I tell it how it is. They stink right now.
Well, all right. So then, obviously, if they're playing the bottom of the SEC in January, do you have any idea what their February gauntlet is?
They better do well in January,
bro. Georgia, Mississippi State, February 2nd, February 5th, okay? And then starting the 8th, Auburn, Alabama, Missouri, Tennessee, Florida, Kentucky, LSU, Tennessee. That
sounds horrible.
Horrible. Well, that's what I'm talking about in the SEC, like just how good this fucking league is. These guys are going to knock themselves down to like seeds, I'm telling you, and they're all going to be like, you don't want them in your pod.
Yep.
Like even LSU, like LSU's good. I mean, a tough win last night, but Arkansas, they need to get through January hot, otherwise they're fucked.
Wait, guys, I have a couple of names. It's popping in my head. There's things happening in my head. San Diego State beat somebody. Grand Canyon beat somebody else. Is it ringing a bell for you guys or no?
Yep. First off,
you don't stand by my take.
You don't go to the fucking Havoc Zone and come out a winner. So shout out Grand Canyon.
I mean, you have to admit that I'm right.
We'll know if you're right on Selection Sunday.
I mean, they're losing to Grand Canyon and San Diego State, and you're the top teams, where you're saying the teams, and I never like they should be losing to teams because they're not good. Like they're not good. 2.5
teams in the tournament. That was the debate.
I mean, they're going to have right now. They probably have one.
No, that's wrong.
How?
They'll get another. They'll always get BYU or Sanford. They'll get somebody. They'll get
Gonzaga and BYU are going to make the tournament, and then you just need San Francisco or St. Mary's. That's it.
You can't be losing to Grand Canyon. I can tell you that.
Well,
It's not a crazy loss.
Hold on. Grand Canyon is a power program. They made the NCAA tournament last year. Duke didn't. So it's in terms of consecutive NCAA tournament appearances, Grand Canyon, Duke. Also, Grand Canyon, Kentucky.
Grand Canyon was one of the first meetings we had when trying to jumpstart this podcast.
Yeah, they're great. They're going to go back again. Bryce Drew's going to get a major job. I would hire him in Arizona State. I'm telling you right now. Arizona State. Hire his ass.
I don't know. Bobby Hurley's on a 3-game winning streak right now.
Bryce Drew.
And you know what? We're recording this Sunday morning. Big game today. San Francisco, Arizona State.
Yeah.
It's the game of the day, I believe. But one more thing on our friends of the program. Alabama beat Jacksonville State by 6.
Jacksonville State's a decent team. Bama didn't play great.
Yeah.
They just need, we know what they are. They're going to just have to shoot the ball well. That's what it really comes down to. When they don't shoot the ball well. Also, I watched, like Davidson, a couple more turnovers. Shackelford didn't score, I don't believe, till like late, or he may not have scored at all. They're built to win. They just got to turn it around a little bit.
Yeah. And then one more game before we get to our interview with Jack Nunge of Xavier.
Yeah, Shackelford's 0. 34 minutes, 0 of 6.
0 points is wild.
Yeah.
So Baylor, Oregon was the late night game. Oregon was around for the first 30 minutes, and then Baylor went on a huge run. Ended up winning the game by 8. Rico, you got your cover, right?
Yeah, I almost tweeted it that this was the Oregon team I bet on to win the national title because they look great in the first half. And I don't know what – I think it's just spare parts, transfers. I don't know what to make of this team. They stink.
Like I said about Baylor, they have all the same players.
Yep.
Brown, 17. Flagler, 16. And King Joe, 17. It's like they're just all the same thing. And like Meyer played 19 minutes. He didn't even have to like do much. Like they're a complete fucking team. And how do you say that name?
Chama
Chachua, great off the bench playing 30 points. Like they're fucking unbelievable.
I can't believe we're talking about them again as the number 1 team in the country.
And it's almost like we forgot about them too, because like they were, whatever. It's criminal.
When you lose Butler, you lose all these guys. It's like, but then they just keep. It just shows a lot about. I mean, I don't fucking understand it.
Just interchangeable guards, play defense, hit shots, great coach.
And the thing is, this was their first true road game of the season. They had the battle for Atlantis, which they won. Those are all neutral games. At Oregon, you can say what you want about Oregon, okay? They aren't the team we expected them to be. It's a true road game. You're going pretty far away. They still have a lot of veterans, and you win. Like that second half,
52% from 3. That helps.
It does, but I don't know. This Baylor team, you just can't doubt them anymore. Would you guys take them as the favorite right now to win it all?
No.
I still think it's probably Duke or Gonzaga.
Right now, Gonzaga 650, Baylor 700, Duke 750.
Marty, since 2020, Baylor is 64-6. 64-6, and got fucked in 2020 from potentially winning a national title.
Yep. Crazy.
Yeah, and they have Alcorn State and Northwestern State. That's for the list to wrap up non-conference play. So they're most likely going to be 12-0 entering the new year. I mean, yeah, they are a complete team despite losing everything. Oregon 6-6 overall. Yikes.
They're cooked.
I wouldn't say cooked. You can go
cooked
16-4 in the Pac-12.
Cooked.
Did you actually hedge out of your championship? Was that possible?
Yeah, I had to. That is irresponsible to like just lose a little bit of money.
Wow. Yeah.
I'll put it on Colorado State and then hedge out the other way.
Oh, yeah. That's one other COVID thing we didn't mention. So they were supposed to play Alabama Tuesday. That's a big missed opportunity that got canceled.
Yeah, definitely. So
that stinks. They're ranked, I think, the number 22, Colorado State. They had a game against our friend Frank Caith in Tulsa, canceled Saturday. And then Tuesday as well for Alabama. So
All right,
Yeah.
let's wrap it up.
Yeah, that's the starting five. So let's get to our interview with Jack Nunge. Xavier 11-1 right now, probably one of the favorites in the Big East. So here is the 7-footer, Jack Nunge. All right, we want to welcome on a very special guest. He is a junior, 7-foot forward of the Xavier Musketeers. It is the big man, Jack Nunge. Jack, you and your Xavier team, 11-1 right now, fresh off a win in the Big East opener over Marquette. And now a quick turnaround, a big one on Tuesday at Villanova. So Big East play is here. Where's your head at right now with the team?
Yeah, our team, I think we're just going to try to take it one game at a time. We have this thing in our locker room with our schedule, and we have all the games blocked out except for the one that we're focusing on. And, Villanova is going to be a huge test for our team. First road game in the Big East, and we want to go out there and make a statement.
Now, real quick, did you make it your goal to go to the worst states of all time to play college basketball at?
No, I mean, I'd never even really considered going to Ohio until, Xavier started recruiting me in the process. But, it actually worked out great. I think Cincinnati is probably one of the best cities in the state. And, I like living here a lot.
That's true. Cincinnati's not that bad. I've been there.
Don't
It's
listen
not
to
great.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him, Jack. You look at like the conference, right? So you guys are off to a hot start that probably not a lot of people predicted. Providence is playing really well. We saw Seton Hall beat Texas. Is the Big East the most slept-on conference in the country right now?
Yeah, I think, with the Big East comes, all things basketball, the Big East teams. This year we've really outperformed our expectations, and I think that's something that's, just really good for the conference. You're not going to have any easy games, from game 1 to game 20.
I know, and I always find it interesting because obviously you transferred from Iowa, and last 3 games you're averaging like 20 points a game. Like, how is it hard to like when you first come in, like it's like you're the new guy and you're kind of like the guy on the team almost. Like, how does that work? Just like gelling with your teammates.
Yeah, I think we just have a, really solid connected group. I feel like, anybody could have a great night any night. And that's, something that's a strength for our team. We have a lot of depth, and that's something that, is going to be really tough for other teams to counter.
What is the biggest difference? Obviously, you're only a few games in conference play at Xavier, but between the Big East and the Big Ten, your first glance, what's the biggest difference you see?
Yeah, I feel like, just like the games are different. It's more, athletic, more playing basketball. And in the Big Ten last year, it's a set play every time down, and there's like a crazy amount of good bigs in the Big Ten. It's a war down there every night. And I think in the Big East, guys are just out there playing basketball.
Did you go to the Big East because you have a better chance at winning a national championship since the Big Ten's been shut out for 2 decades?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, with the Big East comes, like I said, all things basketball. It's a great conference. Yeah.
Yeah, we like to poke fun at it. The Big Ten people, they get mad at us, but I don't know. It's I don't know what's going on there. It's some kind of stigma or curse. We can't figure it out because they've had good teams. It's just nobody can crack through.
Yeah, I mean, I thought last year we had a great opportunity. I was really upset that I didn't get to finish out the year for our team. I thought we had a really great team though.
Yeah, Bohannon's always on this podcast. He's something else, huh?
yeah. J-Bo, that's my guy. He's my roommate. In the last couple of years at Iowa, he's someone who I grew close to. He's probably honestly my best friend. So yeah, he's awesome.
We reached out, and everything I read about from Coach Steele and what Jordan has said you're the most positive guy out there, like positive guy in the world. He's like, I'm not just saying that, but you have a lot of excuses to be like the angry young man, the injuries, you got to transfer. Like you wonder like why me? What keeps you going is so positive, or like what gets that going that you just stay positive no matter what, and where did that kind of come about?
Yeah, I think it's it's just the perspective that I've adopted over these last few years, going through ACL injury, a pandemic, my dad, and then this past year with my second season-ending injury. I just try to take things for what they are. Try to have a great attitude and just keep perspective. Try to go into each day trying to get better and just taking things one day at a time.
You've gone through a lot mentally especially. How do you take it with a day by day approach? Just always keep the positive mentality. Walk us through that.
Yeah, just honestly, like every night before I go to bed, I look at my schedule for the next day, try to see what my plan is. Just try to plan it out and try to attack it to the best of my ability.
Rico, we need you to like go with Nunge and get you positive. He'll calm you down for a fucking second.
I know, yeah, it's very commendable. I got to get on this Nunge plan.
Yeah. You were texting our group chat about Manhattanville College. That's how fucking nuts you are. No one even knows what that is.
You're living with your brother now. He's a walk-on on the team. Marty lived with his brother. Jake, we've all lived with our brothers, and I'm sure.
Wow, we all lived with our brothers.
Well, more so. All right, so more so for me, like a little after college when you grow up, not just 12 years old. What's the dynamic? Like, are you the organized one? Is he a mess? What's the balance there with the off-campus apartment?
Yeah, so it's a house. I actually live with my brother and my fiance, and
congrats.
I hadn't expected to live with my brother. I went to college and I kind of grew like distant, and then you come back. It's my 5th year, and it's interesting. He really only has one chore, and that's to take out the trash. In the past 3 weeks, I've had to do it for him, and so I got to get on him a little bit more.
I saw just recently over the offseason, you created a Twitter. I went to your Twitter account. You had 23 tweets. How'd you last this long with no Twitter? That's very impressive.
Yeah, it's just I had a Twitter in high school and my freshman year, and then I just when I got to college, I took it down. Just tried to really focus on some things, and I knew coming back, especially with this NIL stuff, and I just wanted to be able to be out there more, be able to show my personality, and that's something that this summer I knew I was going to try to create again.
Now I asked this to like Dickinson. I've asked this to a bunch of people. What's the worst part about being 7 foot? Taking a shit, ducking around? I feel like it's got to be how many people asking how tall you are?
Yeah, I mean, that's something, you get every day, just going to the grocery store, you see all these people and they're just like, see you and they're like, my son, he's really tall. My son is 6'6", and I'm like, yeah, I think I got him beat. That's really interesting. Honestly, probably the worst part though is, just traveling, planes, stuff like that. It's just, I need an exit row on a plane. Every plane I go on, I need it.
Yeah, that's brutal. Especially some of those United planes. It's pretty tight back there.
That's bad.
Exactly.
So the Cincinnati rivalry, right? You guys played them last week. You smoked them. You won by 20. You scored 31 points, I believe it was, off of the bench. Walk us through that rivalry. I saw your coach gave $1,000 bar tab to one of the bars. Just the tradition and the history and the importance of that game and how it went out.
Yeah, it's just it's something I can't really describe. You kind of had to be there, but just being a part of it, even 60 minutes before the tip when we're doing our warm-ups, I got chills, honestly. I had goosebumps. It's just a crazy environment. The history between the two teams, the fight 10 years ago. There's just a lot of pride in both these programs, and that's something that we knew going into the game. We just wanted to show that we were the tougher team, and we took it to them.
Do people still say zip them up about that rivalry?
Yeah,
that's an all-time clip.
That's our team motto. Especially started last summer with the TBT team, and really adopted it this year.
How is Coach Steele? Because obviously Jake just mentioned I saw that the video where he just gives $1,000 to a bar. I have always said if you do that, everyone will love you for the rest of time. But he seems like a fucking man.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty sweet tradition that he's got going. The fans here are awesome, and that's why he does it. He does it for them. They come out every game, doesn't matter who we're playing. They're going to be loud and obnoxious, and they're going to get the other teams, give them a tough environment to play in.
You look at Nova, right? So, Fortune 500 company, as some experts who we no longer talk to say. But I actually don't think they're that great this year. Losing one the other day, got smoked by Baylor. What's the game plan, or what is this a year where you can kind of pounce on Nova and start this run to the top of the Big East?
Yeah, absolutely. We think that we can beat anybody in the Big East, and we think we have a great team and great opportunity to do that. Villanova, it's a great program. They've won multiple national championships in the past decade. Jay Wright, he's a phenomenal coach. I haven't even really considered the game. Like I said, we take it one game at a time. We got practice later today, and that's where we'll lock in on the scouting report. Try to see what they do. But I think it'll be a great game and a great opportunity for us to go get some roadkill.
I know it's very early in conference play, but pitch to us why Xavier can be the #1 team at Madison Square Garden in March.
Yeah, we just have a very connected group, a very deep group. I think we're 10 guys deep. Anybody can come in on any given night and have a great game. And that's something that, it's going to be hard to scout. I think we've had, 7 different leading scorers, which is, crazy. And I think that, it's a blessing.
Then I saw also earlier this offseason, you and the team, or at least some of the guys, went out and hit the links to play golf. How is playing golf as a 7-footer? Is it hard?
Yeah, it's a challenge. My clubs, I have an extra 2.5 inches on them. Something, I've played for probably 10 years and I haven't gotten any better. And yeah, I'm trying though.
Marty, we could have. Jake plays. We have some kind of fucking scramble with all these guys.
No, you suck. You literally scored. You got like a 115. You were kicking the ball in Staten Island.
I got a 115 at the Atlantic City Country Club where Riggs put the tees like 4,000 feet back. But I'm saying a lot of guys like golf. We could get this. We could get a couple of foursomes.
Yeah, but you literally play at a course where like people take their shirts off and like they're fucking talking like out of their ass over there.
You get Jordan Bohannon. He's a phenomenal golfer. So
of course he is. That scumbag.
Yeah, we played all the time.
I feel like I'd get so mad at J-Bo at golf. I would get so pissed off. He'd be talking trash the entire time.
Yeah, he definitely does.
We play scumbag golf. You tee up in the fairway a little bit, like it's a little gamesmanship. So
yeah, you bring like a lifesaver and bring it on the fairway so no one could see it.
Anything.
I got one more for you. So Rico mentioned, of course, you and your brother at Xavier, but you have 4 total siblings. Growing up, were you the best athlete in your family? Did that help you with the competitive mindset every day?
Yeah, I think growing up in a big family with a bunch of athletes, we all played every sport all through middle school, elementary school, and yeah, it definitely makes things competitive. You get in arguments, you get in fights, but it just makes you tougher. I would not say I'm the best athlete. I have a younger sister. She plays volleyball at Illinois. I think she's definitely the best athlete. She's good at pretty much everything she does. They just made the Sweet 16 this year, so I definitely have some competition in that front.
Is she the libero?
No, she plays outside hitter.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Don't act like
She's
I was
tall,
all Long Island volleyball.
Libero's
I don't want to hear
normally
you
shorter.
talk about fucking volleyball over there.
My
That's impressive, though. You know libero?
Yeah, my mom won 10 island titles in a row. Just retired.
That's awesome. But you guys got anything else?
Yeah, I guess I got one more. We got Christmas in a week. I'm always interested, especially younger guys. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Probably Elf. I'm just gonna keep it simple. Yeah,
Elf is just fantastic.
Not Home Alone?
It's a great movie.
Not Home Alone? Damn.
I'll watch it if it's on.
I don't
at
like
the
sit
hotel.
down and watch Christmas movies.
Jack, you have Rico's number, right?
Yeah.
Just look alive for Christmas Day. He will blow up your phone.
All right.
Yeah. And if you score like 20 points again, he'll fucking start jerking you off on the phone. So just watch out.
I got you for sure.
All right, thanks for coming on, bro. Good luck.
Good luck this week. Go get Nova.
Good luck at Villanova.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, that was Xavier, big man, Jack Nunge. Been through a lot. Impressive kid to kind of see how positive he is. Funny stuff with his brother. I laughed at. Xavier, I think, has a real shot to win the Big East, and I think they're going to beat Villanova. We touched on how bad Villanova is. So rooting for Jack the rest of the way. Want to thank him for coming on.
Yeah, so Xavier, a huge game against Villanova on Tuesday. We talked about Villanova earlier. Xavier, it's on the road. What do you guys think for the line? You think Villanova's got to still be favored, right? By like 1 or 2?
Yeah, they'll be favored, especially at home and coming off like this is a kind of a spot where you bet Villanova.
Kind of looks like Memphis the other night.
Yeah, but
Memphis Bama,
I think it'll probably be like 4.
4.
Villanova minus 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'll probably still talk myself into taking Xavier.
me too.
So that game's Tuesday night.
I haven't learned the thing.
So let's wrap up the show with our segments. We'll start off with love hate. So it was great to have a full slate of games on Saturday. This coming week, some housekeeping, by the way. We'll have a regular show. We'll record late Wednesday. Duke plays their conference opener at home against Virginia Tech at 9 o'clock, so we'll record very late Wednesday. And then no show next Monday. There's just no games around Christmas. They're letting all the kids go home, I guess, which is nice.
Yeah. All right, I love the upside of LSU. They were down to Louisiana Tech, but Will Wade said it to us like, hey, we don't play any defense. They're legitimately playing defense like really, really well this year. I think they're a sleeper in the SEC. They got a ton of athletes. I love LSU's defense. Hate. You know what? I think I'm passing on hate. Yesterday was a good day. I don't know negativity. Yesterday was a good day. Flipping the channels, juggling the games. Didn't really get too worked up. Nothing. We're gonna go into. I'm gonna pass my hate. Just love.
I like that. Mazel.
Yeah, it's a rarity.
Yeah.
I love being right. I love being right. I love how bad the WCC is, and it's my favorite thing to shove it in both of your faces that I'm right and they are a bad conference. And I hate. Who do I hate? Oh, I hate that guy who ratted on the Memphis team going to party. I hate that guy. Fuck that guy. Don't rat. Let them play.
Fair.
Scumbag.
I love the old Big East vibes we saw in Madison Square Garden on Saturday. St. John's, they didn't have Julian Champagny, but a horrific loss. Pittsburgh has not been good this season. Pittsburgh, buzzer beater, Big East, John Fanta on the call. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. A former Pitt player I know was courtside. They fucking won. Did anyone lay the 15 with St. John's, though?
Oh, I don't know. Some guy who maybe said he was right about everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'll admit when I'm wrong. Not like when Jakes keeps saying that Merrimack scored 55 points, but I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
That was. I'm gonna be dying. I'm never gonna get those 3 minutes back of Jake.
No, me neither.
Well, whatever.
St. John's. Let me tell you, they need Champagny. I thought Posh Alexander could do a little more. Oh man, they could not.
I want that guy from Indiana to sit with us every game and watch it. That guy he'll still never figure out why I hate Champagny.
Yeah. And also bonus love. I love seeing Red Panda back. She was at the Villanova Creighton game.
She's everywhere. Yeah. Doing
the bowls and the glasses. In terms of my hate, I hate that we're dealing with COVID cancellations again. I know we let off the show with it, but it's annoying. It stinks. It seems like a work in progress. Again, there's no way. I mean, I hope I'm not jinxing it. There's no way it gets as bad as it did the last few seasons because of the vaccines and all of that stuff. But we were robbed of some big time games on Saturday. We thought, okay, Memphis, they beat Alabama. If they beat Tennessee, they're back on the right track to make the tournament. We'll never know because that game we're not getting back. Kentucky, Ohio State was supposed to be awesome. North Carolina, UCLA. So it sucks that we were robbed of some of those games. And teams like we mentioned earlier, Colorado State, when they get their schedule, they circle Alabama.
Yep.
They're like, if we win that game, that's huge for our at-large resume. They just don't get the chance to prove themselves, and it was out of their control. So that stinks. All right, beating the buzzer and the box score game, which I think we forgot to do the box score game last episode, so maybe we'll do 2 today. But let's start with beating the buzzer. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Virginia Tech 86, St. Bonaventure 49. Is this game more impressive for the Hokies or more concerning for the Bonnies?
Concerning for the Bonnies. Bonnies are a bad team. I'm out on them. Completely out on them. They're not bad, but they are not. They were overhyped. Let me tell you that.
There's always one of these teams from the A10 of Missouri Valley who gets ranked, and they're just, let's face it, like not as good as people say they are. They could still be pesky in the tournament, but I'm out on the Bonnies as well.
Yeah. Speaking of the A10, Richmond 83, NC State 74. The Spiders are 7-4. Do we think they can compete for the top spot in the A10 now with Bonnies?
Not in my world. Their coach is a scumbag.
Yeah. He went on a different podcast last season, so Reek will never give them a second chance. Marty mentioned this, but it's worth mentioning. San Diego State 63, St. Mary's 53. The Mountain West has the Gales number this season, now 2-0 against them. San Diego State, at-large consideration.
San Diego State will always be a team you don't want to play in the tournament.
Absolutely.
They'll hold you to 43 points. They're fucking running picket fences. They're ugly. They're always going to be pesky.
Yeah. The Indianapolis doubleheader. Number 3, Purdue 77, Butler 48. A breeze for the Boilermakers, but Butler was without some of their best players, but they still smoked them.
Butler's never.
Don't even answer, Rico. Who cares? It's Butler.
Butler will always be bet on because people will still say they made back-to-back national championships. Let's just you know what I mean, Marty? They're Loyola. That's what they're going to be.
Yeah,
but they're never really going to be elite.
Indiana 64, Notre Dame 56, Trace Jackson Davis 17-12. This was a predictable letdown spot for the Irish after the
I watched it. They got it to 1 and they just couldn't get over the hump. It's tough in South Bend.
Yeah. Number 10, USC 67, Georgia Tech 53. The Trojans remained undefeated. A major game looming against Oklahoma State.
USC's very good.
Very good.
Finally getting to watch them a little bit. They're a team that's quietly just winning everything.
Yeah, they're good.
100%. Western Kentucky 82, Louisville 72. The Hilltoppers beat the Cardinals the first time since 2008. They're a sneaky team in the Conference USA as well.
So the ACC lost to Richmond and Western Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Hell of a day.
Yeah, it's tough.
Beat Elon though, so they'll always have that. Iowa 94, Utah State 75. Keegan Murray once again, 35 points. He could be the Big Ten Player of the Year.
Keegan Murray?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna get it.
Bohannon did tweet out this is the most fun he's having ever. So I just hope Iowa makes the tournament.
They'll make
100%.
the tournament.
I mean, he scored 30 points in all but 3 games this year.
Yeah, Marty, he could play.
No, I know he could play, but I mean, he's not going to win the Big Ten Player of the Year.
Right.
He has to play the Big Ten. He hasn't played the Big Ten yet.
Yeah, that's fair. West Virginia 65, UAB 59. The Mountaineers continue to fly under the radar. They're 10-1. Coach Huggins' team in a good spot.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of this. Huggins, I don't know. They're just there in the Big 12. They're 10-1.
That was exactly what I was going to say. They're there.
They're just there.
And they'll steal some. They'll steal some from somebody, but
they will. If you turn your back on them, they'll hit you in the back of the head. Do not sleep on West Virginia, but they very much could fall asleep themselves. Let's put it that way.
And did you see he announced his fish fry and Barstool is sponsoring it? I think Dave's going.
Yeah. So we gotta work our way into that one.
That's awesome. Yeah. Number 13, Auburn 74, St. Louis 70. Walker Kessler goes for 19-9. This was an impressive true road win. They had to grind this one out.
This was very tough. They were also down 12 late with 6 or 7 minutes left. I watched the whole game. Auburn can win the national title. I agree with Marty. They're built to. They're from the SEC. They're good. Bruce Pearl's. I don't love him as a coach, but he's definitely got some miles now as a tournament coach. I like Auburn's upside.
Auburn, they impressed me more what they did here because they were down bad.
Yep.
And I'm not saying St. Louis is the best team and they should beat them, but it shows when they are against adversity and against the ropes, they can still come back and get it done.
Yeah. And then lastly, number 14, Houston bounces back 72-61 over Oklahoma State. They had that emotional loss to Alabama. Now they've won 2 in a row since then. So they're 10-2. I still think they're the overwhelming favorite in the American.
Oklahoma State was in it. I think Boynton is a great coach. But yeah, Houston, I think they're going to win that conference. Although if Memphis plays the way they will, that's when's like, do they play a home and home? Because those are 2 games to mark on your calendar.
Yeah. So Houston, Memphis, it's February 12th in Houston, and then the last day of the regular season, Sunday, March 6th at Memphis.
Oh, I love that.
Hopefully that game's relevant for Memphis and they hang around.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
And
they'll be
Duke
around.
won by 30 again.
Duke beat Elon. Yes. And they had like three opponents in like a 24-hour span.
That was
right?
crazy.
Yeah. It was
Nuts.
originally someone, and then Loyola Marymount, and then Elon, right?
It was Loyola Maryland.
Yeah, Loyola Maryland.
And then it was, then Elon. Like Iona is still trying to find someone to play. That Patino was tweeting out like a desperate guy trying to get a girls, being like, "Can someone play us?"
Yeah. So again, this is Sunday morning. So San Francisco, Arizona State is pretty much the only game of note. Monday is pretty light as well, because the Big East had some cancellations.
Yeah, it's a light week.
And then, but Tuesday, Wednesday are big. Xavier, Villanova Tuesday, USC, Oklahoma State, Connecticut, Marquette. Kansas at Colorado, that could be a sneaky tough game. And then Wednesday, Arizona, Tennessee, Virginia Tech, Duke. We'll record late. And Louisville, Kentucky, the rivalry game, of course.
Arizona's playing Tennessee Tuesday?
Wednesday.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Knoxville. So we'll record late Wednesday night after the Virginia Tech Duke game. But yeah, we've got a few more days here before a decent break, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, pretty much nothing going on. So you guys got anything else?
No, we'll end
Box score
on.
game?
Yeah, we'll just do one. I got one because it just popped out. Where are these idiots? All right, ready? 28-14. Hold on. All right, ready? 28, 14, 8, 14, 8, 14, 7, 9, and 4.
72.
That's at least 80. 85.
It's 106.
Yeah.
Missouri State.
I'm not good with 14s.
Can
Those
we
are
add
football
those?
numbers.
This is, hold on. 28, 14, and 14 is 28 and 28. That's what, 56, Jake?
Yeah.
8 is 64. 22.
Are you really adding it up right
Yeah, because I
now?
don't think it adds up. 22 is 86.
That's a big jump.
86 and 16 is 100. 100. Somehow it always adds up.
102,
I mean,
yeah.
it's fucking sick.
I
It's
agree.
sick.
It doesn't add up still. I know
Sick.
you did. It doesn't add up.
Sick. All right.
All right, that's the
so
show. We'll be back.
Hopefully no more COVID cancellations.
No.
Yeah, we'll be back on Thursday for you guys. We'll see you this week.